Yeah, hello legends. Welcome to another week, an episode of Wavematics Weekly Forecast. My name is Peter Pearl, and today we are looking at the week of June 5th to 9th, 2023, and it's going to be a very wonderful week. Before we start, those with us live now, let me know in the comment section if the sound is okay for you and if you can see the screen clearly. Just give me a comment in the comment section so that we can proceed. So if you are with me live now, or if even you are watching the replay, just let me know if the sound is okay and if the screen is also okay at your end. In this particular week, last week we looked at a lot of pairs. And we had a very wonderful week. So this week too, we are going to jump straight into the pairs and look at a lot of interesting pairs. Just like we always do. But before we proceed, if you have any instrument or pair you want me pairs you want me to look at, just leave it in the comment section. I'm going to do justice to that. I always give priority to those with us live, so that when you give an instrument, I'll try my best and look at it. So now we are going to start just like, okay, I've gotten a confirmation that the sound is okay. We are going to start with the dollar index, just like we always do. But before we proceed to that, let me know when you are connecting us from, where you are watching the live stream from. Let me know right now where you are watching us from. I'm currently speaking from Toronto in Canada. Let me know the city or town. Then as a family, we know where we are all connecting from. Okay, I'm seeing Bal is also watching us from Turkey. So brother, you welcome to the live stream. So let me know, keep it coming, and I'm going to look at it in the comment section as we proceed along. So now in the dollar index, this is what we are looking at in this particular week. This particular week. Okay. Alex is also watching us from Italy. So now let's jump straight into today's. Keep the comments coming. I'm going to look at it. If you comment on an instrument and I've not looked at it, I'm definitely going to go into the comment section. So in order for us not to distract the stream, I'll jump straight into what we are looking at for today. So now in the dollar index, just like we always do, we have a quick look at the dollar index to give us a fair view of what is happening. Then we jump straight into the majors to look at it. From last week, we've been looking at this particular pair. I've been giving an update on it, and now we are still looking at the impulsive move that we are looking at for a wave C, for the ABC that we looked at last week. The scenario has not really changed much. And if we look at last week, we look at the daily time frame. Today, because of time, we are not going to be looking at that much. We are looking for a bigger ABC for a wave 2 on the daily time frame for us to come move lower on the dollar index. So for this particular week too, we still want to see price push to the upside, and that impulsive move for the wave 5 is still ongoing. So now this particular week is just a very simple pattern that we are seeing now. Now I'm seeing a completion of the wave 3, the red wave 3, and now we want to see a form of an ABC for wave 4. An ABC for wave 4. Now the wave A of that particular move is already in play. So we want to see price move to the downside, but after a quick correction for an ABC for this particular wave B. So once we get that particular one, we want to see another 5 wave move to the downside for this wave 4. Then after that, we will look for price breaking the high, this particular wave 3 high again to complete the wave 5, after which we will start looking for a reversal sign. But note that because it's an ABC, price can come as long as this particular zone around the 106 zone. And if you want to even move into an expanding flat, you can even move further above that. So now this particular week, if you are not yet in the train, we are waiting for this particular correction and a move to the, because this particular one looks more impulsive. So we want to see a move to the downside for an ABC, then after which that we are going to go for a move to the upside to complete the final wave of that particular wave C. So that is what we are looking for in this particular week. So we are still looking for a short-term strength in the dollar after the correction of the wave 4. So with this understanding, we are going to use that one to jump straight into the Euro USD and the rest of the pairs. So with Euro USD, this is what we are looking at on Euro USD. Because of the correlation between the dollar and the USD is always very simple, for us to analyze the Euro USD once you know what the dollar index is also doing. So on this particular wave 4, that we are looking at in the Euro USD, before even we go on the Euro USD, let me know if you are watching us live or if you are watching a replay. Just give me the comment section live, or if you are watching the replay to just give me a comment section replay for me to know those who are with us live right now and those who are also going to watch the replay version of it. So with Euro USD, just like we are also looking at the same scenario that we are looking on the dollar index, after the wave 1, we want to see an ABC for wave 2. After that we will start looking for a move to the upside. So now, as there is a short-term strength in the dollar index, we want to see the same thing on Euro USD 2, So now, just like the same one, we have this particular move, the end of this wave 3. So we want to see price give a correction this week to give us an ABC. Then we will start looking for a move to the upside. If it is an ABC, is going to be a 5-wave move, but if it is a WXY, then we are looking at price giving us another 3-wave, just like we've indicated. So when we draw the patterns like this, it depends on what the price action wants to be. If it is a 3-wave on each side, then we are going to label it as a WXY. But if it starts giving us 5-wave, then we are going to look at an ABC on these things. The most important thing is understanding what the patterns are doing. That is very key. It's not just about putting the numbers and the letters there, because you need to understand market structure and so that you can do the variations on what price is doing. So that is what we are looking at on Euro USD. On Euro USD, if you have any any pair that you want me to be analyzing, just keep it coming in the comment section. I'm going to see at it. Bar is with us live. Alex is also with us live. Okay, John said he's watching live from Nigeria. Okay, we have Koda, who is also live with us, and we have Bobby, who is also live with us. So we have a lot of people live with us. So if you have any instrument that you want me to look at as I go along, in the course of the week, I posted the pairs that you want me to look at, which I've used to compile this particular weeks. The most of it is what I'm using to analyze. But if you are live with us and you want me to look at a particular pair, I'm going to look at I'm having a few of it in the comment section, and I'm going to look at it. Okay, we also have Ramsey live from Durban, South Africa. So I've seen a lot of comments. I've seen gold. I've seen gold. I've seen Bitcoin. I'm having a lot of these comments. So we will start the stream. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I'm going to come back, look at the comment section, because I enjoy it when you are live with me. And as we analyze these things along, if you have any other questions too, just leave it in the comment section, and I'm going to look at it in the course of the stream. So now let's quickly look at gold, since I think Alex requested for gold. So let's quickly dive in on gold. On gold. So in gold, this is what we are looking at on gold. So today I'm going to give a bonus to you on gold, what I'm looking at on the higher time frame of gold. So this is the 4 hours. Let's jump straight into the legendary trade room and look at what we are looking at in in legendary for the first time. If you are joining us for the first time, now we'll go to gold, quickly go to gold and look at what we are looking at on gold for the daily time frame. So if you look at gold, this is what we are looking at. So on daily, if for some months now, I've sticked with this particular analysis for some time, where I've been looking at an ending diagonal for wave 5 for this black wave 3, and price is still progressing, just like we've been discussing it for some time now. Price still been discussing it. Okay, cash, I'm also discussing gold. So so now this particular ending diagonal scenario that we are looking at, so after the wave 4, as this first wave moved, that was when I saw more of a 3-wave on this particular move. So I was looking at it, okay, if it's not an impulsive move, then there's a likelihood that price might move into an ending diagonal. It's too quick for us to conclude, but still you can see the progression of price action, that it is really going that way. It's really going that way. So that is what we are looking at on the gold. So if you see me counting this ABC for one, don't just get confused. It is the ending diagonal scenario that I'm looking at on this particular one. So if you are the first time of looking at these things, then if you want to join us, this is how the legendary trade room looks like. You can just join us. They usually get 20 instruments a day, 20 chart instruments a day, and they get these pairs earlier, and we update it every day for them. So the 4-hour, daily, weekly. Then in the trade room too, they have access to intraday charts. They have access to intraday charts and trading opportunities in the trade room also. So this is how the legendary trade room. We don't, it's not just like a random Telegram group. We have an app and everything for it, where we do give updates, trade opportunities, have a lot of discussion in the trade room. So if you are wanting to join us, then you can just go to pearlmarkets.com, and it's going to bring you to this particular site. Then you can choose the option that you want, because we are currently having a 50% discount. So once it brings you to the per market site, just click on any of the give me the promo, and it's going to give you the options for you to either choose whether you want a lifetime subscription, annual subscription, or a monthly subscription. So let's quickly go back into the charts and look at what is happening. So now we are going to go straight into the pound USD, as we are discussing the majors. So in the pound USD, is also giving a very interesting. Last week we looked at this particular pattern, where we looked at, okay, we were looking at a leading diagonal for wave 1, Then now I did talk about this reversal, where we want to see that, okay, price was giving us this particular wave 2. Then we are watching the fib zone to see where price will give us a turning point. So that is where we start using the fibs and start looking at divergence and the rest of the things like that. So price gave us a rejection at the 61.8 fib zone, and now we are seeing this particular week. So as the dollar index, we want to see a short-term move of 8, strength of 8. We want to see price move to the downside. So we want to see this channel, the wave X channel, broken. So if you get a particular any correction this particular week for this impulse, price can come a little lower, then give us this particular correction. Even if it starts giving you correction straight away, once the market opens and for some hours you start seeing this correction in the lower time frame, then you can start selling this particular pair for the short term. So that is what we are looking for in the pound USD. Wait for a correction. Once we get a correction, then just like we always do, we always sell when the correction is happening. If you're already in the trade, if you're able to catch this particular rejection on the fib zone, then you can just wait and make price go down in as it progress. So that is what we are looking for on pound USD. Let's quickly jump to USD Swiss as we are looking at the majors. So now in USD Swiss, this is what we are looking at. It's having a very interesting scenario. We've been looking at it. Now. This move looks like a corrective move, but it can also be counted as a leading diagonal. So I'm looking at the leading diagonal scenario. That is my primary count. I do have an alt count, but now with the leading diagonal that I'm looking at now, we can see that price is giving us a wave one, which is completed. Now this we want to see price move to the downside, give us a correction which is bigger, so this particular correction that is ongoing can move a little higher. Even it can even decide to give you a three wave first before it comes down, but one we want to see it, we want price to see give us a form of an ABC for a wave two. Then we will start looking for a move to the downside. So this particular week, when you get a correction for this particular impulse that is happening, if you get any move like this, I'll start looking for a rejection or a breakout from a particular trend line like this. Then I'll start selling this particular pair. So we want to see price really move, give us a correction. But as it stands now, don't just get in the sell, wait for a lot of confirmation before you get into the sell, because price can decide to make a one more high and break this particular top. But once we get a three wave move, just like it happened on the pound USD, that is a similar correction that we are looking at. If we get something like this, just like it. So let's say if it started and you just jumped in, you will not get a confirmation very well. But once we had this particular move, three wave move, then we were certain that price is going to give us that particular rejection. Then if you're a conservative trader, wait for the rejection. Once you get an impulsive move, then you get a little confirmation that, okay, now this is what price wants to do. Then you start looking for correction to the downside. Once you get a correction, then you can start selling or adding up to your trades on it. So let's quickly look at the Aussie USD, the Aussie USD. So in Aussie USD also, we've been looking at this particular pair for some time now. So now we are seeing the WXY that we were anticipating. It's done. We've had a 5 waves for the wave C of the Y that we were looking at, a 5 wave for the wave C of the Y that we were looking at, and now we are seeing this particular spring to the upside for an impulsive move. So there's a possibility of this being in wave one. But whatever be the case, if you are selling, if you don't, be very careful on this particular pair. But if you are yet to get in on this particular impulsive move, wait for a correction. We want to see a corrective move. Then as price gets into a fib zone, we will start looking for a buy setup on this particular one. So once we get that particular buy setup, then we want to see price go a little higher, and move for this particular wave 3. So that is what we are looking on the Kiwi dollar. If you're joining us on YouTube, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also click on the notification bell. If you're watching us from the different platforms, we are streaming from 6 different platforms. I'm going to leave the link to our YouTube channel in the comment section so that you can, I'm going to just put the link in the comment section so that you can get there and join us there, because most times, so that you join us on YouTube, and do subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that whenever I'm live, you get a notification on whenever we are doing contents like this. So now after the Aussie dollar, let's look at the Kiwi dollar, which have a similar pattern, that is ongoing on this, a similar pattern that is ongoing. So in Kiwi dollar, even we looked at the daily time frame of the Kiwi dollar, where after the wave one, we were looking at price giving us a correction for a WXY inside this particular channel. Though price did not come exactly to test the channel. That is why we don't trade just channels and trend lines and other things, but we look at a pattern in full. So now this particular week, this is what we are looking at. Now, as price is giving us this particular move to the upside, we want to see if we get a 3-wave correction. If we get a 3-wave correction on this particular one, a 3-wave correction on this, then is going to give us we'll start looking for a move to the upside, just like what we looked at on the Aussie dollar. So now we want price to we want to see a correction and a form of an ABC. Then once we get that particular ABC, we will start looking for a breakout for a move to the upside like this. And once that particular breakout starts happening, this is how we always do manage trades. If the fact that it's having a breakout to the upside, it can be that okay, is preparing for a correction to the downside. So once you start getting that way, how do you manage your trades? How do you know the next steps that is coming? So since this is an impulsive move, this is a correction, this is also another impulsive move, then once you start seeing the breakout from the small correction that is happening now, then you can join the two impulsive move also to see whether price is going to, after it gives you this particular correction, price is going to test this one, give you a rejection, or is going to break out of it. It's going to break out of it. So that is how we do manage the trade. Once it starts happening, always make sure that you are moving one step at a time, but understand what price action is doing. That is why we look at the analysis from the top down analysis, where most times I started from the yearly, weekly, then I keep on coming down. But I remember when I started as a new trader, the more I go higher, the more confusing it becomes to me. If you are having that particular problem now, you are not on your own, but with time, as you are following, that is why I take time to, after even posting every week charts upon charts in the Telegram channel and in our Facebook, I try to do this live stream so that you get a clear understanding on how these things work, a clear understanding on how this works. So that is how we are going to trade the Kiwi dollar, and how we are going to manage our trades on it. So now let's look at the USD Japanese yen. The USD Japanese yen. In USD Japanese yen, let me quickly take you to the legendary trade room and show you a daily action on what we are looking at for the US Japanese yen. So in the 4-hour, this is what we are looking at, but let's jump straight into the trade room and look at what is happening on the daily. So USD Japanese yen, if we go to the daily time frame, this is having a very clear and simple pattern, So this is what we are looking at. After this particular wave C, we got a leading diagonal for a wave 1. Wave 1 can also be counted as an impulse. Then we are looking at this WXY. We are looking at this particular WXY, and price gave us a test on this particular side of the channel. As price got here, you can see that price is now giving us a rejection. So we want to see that if this WXY is complete, then we want to see price move to the downside to start the impulsive wave for the red wave 3. So this is what we are looking at on the daily time frame. So with this understanding, let's jump straight into the 4-hour and know what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, this is what we are looking at. We are looking at a WXY. We've seen an impulsive move. So this move can be the beginning of the impulse that we are looking at. It can also be maybe a correction, but just like we always say, we wait for a move and a correction, then we will start looking at what to do on that particular pair. So let's say if we look at the 1-hour time frame, this is an impulsive move that we are looking at. Then this can also be all of the correction. So this particular week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my FIB and look at if price is going to give me any rejection on this particular move to the upside. But if I start seeing something like a move like this, let's say you start seeing a correction like this, then it is telling you that this particular move to the upside is not yet complete. We are going to move a little higher, but we want to see a drop like we had on the pound USD. If we start seeing a drop, then we'll start looking for a correction. Don't just sell because there is a drop. Once you start getting the correction, then you can start selling to the downside on this USD Japanese yen. So that is what we are looking at on to the Japanese yen. So let's quickly look at the comment section and see. Okay, but I think Barbie made a request earlier on Bitcoin. Let me quickly go and discuss that one for her. So in Bitcoin, Bitcoin has not really changed from the analysis that we've been looking at for for some time now. It has not really changed. We are still in this particular correction fold. After this wave one correction, we were anticipating a move to the upside when this wave two correction also ended. When this wave two correction ended. So now, after the wave one, last week we showed that, okay, this impulsive move, we want to see a correction to it. We want to see a correction to it. And this move started coming down. Now, the reason why we don't just sell and buy just because there is some candles happening, we look at the structure in full. We look at the structure in full. So now I had a bearish scenario on this particular thing, but just like I said, I want to see how price react to it. Then it was now our bullish scenario is still in play, because after we join this particular trend line, price is breaking out of this particular trend line. So if we see this particular correction happening, then we want to see price going up. Once we start seeing price going up, we want to see the 28.059, which are our confirmations and our bigger confirmation of 29,880 USD. Once we start getting that particular one, then we want to see that, okay, then maybe the next bull run is starting. But as it stands now, as we stay inside this particular downward channel, we can take it like everything that is happening is still a correction. Everything is starting its correction. But once we break out of the channel, we get more confirmation that, okay, now price is doing something that we can look at, but you can still trade it in bits. But if you trade crypto from the investment point of view of buying and holding, then these are the best times you can buy and hold as you manage your trades. But if you're a day trader which you trade crypto, then you have to wait for this particular correction, because it tested the trend line that it broke. The trend line that it broke gave some interesting candles. Also, there are a lot of pin bars to test the particular trend line. So if you look at the candles that came here, you can see that there are two pin bars that printed on the trend line before price started going to the upside. So that is what we are looking at on Bitcoin. So this particular week, wait, if you want to buy, then you are also in a very good position to start buying on it. To start buying Bitcoin from this particular point of view. So Barbie, that is what we are looking. That is my view on Bitcoin. I'm going to share my bearish scenario later. I'm going to share my bearish scenario later in the course of the week. In the course of the week. Okay, Stephen is also joining us live from Ghana. Stephen is joining us live from Ghana. So let's quickly look at the Euro Pound. Euro Pound. Today we are not going to prolong the live stream for long. We are not going to prolong it, but now I'm going to discuss about 3 or 4 on this particular. It's been a long time that I updated you on video analysis Euro Pound on Euro Pound. So now with this particular, it's very interesting. It's very simple. We the WXY we want to see a pullback for B, which is a correction pullback on this particular wave B. So we want to see price move to the up. Price moves to the upside on this one. We start looking at a move to the downside. So after this particular correction, if we get this particular big correction for the wave B, so this week I'm just expecting a move to the upside on this one in a corrective way. Once we get a corrective way, at least we have a lot of support from the previous wave 4. Once we get that particular one, then we'll start looking at a move to the downside also. Let's quickly also look at the pound. Once we are looking at a pound pair, so let me add one more pound pair, the pound AUD. The pound Aussie on this particular one. I think I've been updating you a lot on the pound Aussie, and if you've been following the trades, by now you would have made a lot from it, because let me quickly jump you to Telegram and look at, I think on May 31st, I've been updating this chart a lot. The recent chart was on May 31st, where I did talk about after May 12 update. So if you look at this particular chart, we are looking at an ending diagonal from even May 12. We updated this particular pair. Then we were still looking at an ending expanding flat for wave 5 on May 31st. As price progressed, I just like we want to make a little move to the upside to break the high of the wave 3. Then we will start seeing a move to the downside for price action to move downside. And so if we come back to what is happening on the charts today, that is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened after they moved to the upside. After they moved to the upside, we saw price. We saw price move downwards on this particular one, just like I did forecasted. So now we are seeing that expanding flats, which is completing because it is broken the top of the wave 3, which is typical of more expanding ending diagonals, not flat, rather expanding ending diagonals, which is typical of it. So now that we have an impulsive move, how do you trade it this particular week? Wait for a correction of the impulsive move. We can see a breakout of it before the correction happens, or we want to see price give us the correction. So if you're not in the trade, just wait. Don't just jump into a sell right now. Wait for the correction, a correction. Then once you look at your fib level, you start looking at a rejection to add up to this particular trade. After we are done with this expanding ending diagonal. It was a complex correction, but if you know how to break the charts down one bit at a time, then you understand what you are doing on this particular one. So that is what we are looking at on the pound Aussie. Let's quickly look at some few one or two indexes for our members who are also trading the indexes and the stocks to get it. Just like the US30 has been the most requested pairs whenever I post the pairs that you want me to look at. So I'm going to give a quick look on what I'm looking at. We've had this particular analysis for long, and its price has been playing out perfectly on what we are looking at on the DXY. So now after the wave 2, now we talked about this wave 1, then we talked about price giving us a wave 2 correction. Just like I always say, wait for corrections to happen, and now we pull our fib zone. Then price started giving us a rejection in the 50 to 61.8 fib zone, 60 to 51.8 fib zone. Once we get that particular one, now we are seeing a move to the downside. We are seeing a 5 wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we have that particular wave 5, so we want to see a wave 5 like this, then we will start looking for this particular correction. So this particular move week, wait for the impulsive wave to finish. Then once it is done, wait for your correction, then add up to this particular one. It is very simple instrument to trade. If you are trading it doesn't give a lot of ups and downs like even forex. It is very stable, and there's a lot of volatility in it. So once the correction keeps happening, so once we start having the correction, ensure that in the correction it can come deeper, because there is a gap at this particular end, and most times price come back to close these gaps before it goes to it moves. So the correction can be a little deeper to fill in this particular gap before it goes to the upside. So wait for the move to complete. Then once you are done with, wait for the correction to happen. And start moving. Start looking for buy setup on this particular US30 or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So now let's look at DAX because I think I got a lot of requests in the week when I posted it. I think some people also asked of DAX. Some people also asked of DAX. So I'm going to look at, I think I got US30, GR40, GR40 US30. So let me do a fair view and touch on the DAX index before we finalize our live stream. So in the DAX index, this is what we are also looking at. It's also been a very interesting scenario. After we look at the 5-wave move, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're anticipating price to give us a break from this particular end, and that is exactly what started happening. So now we want to see price moved downwards to start giving us the correction. So the correction can be looked at in two particular ways. It can be a short correction, or it can also be a bigger correction. So now this can be a wave A or 1, wave A or 1. Then now we are seeing a form of an ABC correction. An ABC correction. Then once we start seeing that ABC, it can either be a wave 2 or wave B. Then we will start moving also to the downside. So after the break, just like I always say, there is a higher possibility that price will come back. Price will come back and give us this particular correction to fill the gap, just like I always say. So price, there is a tendency of price moving a little higher on this particular one. So that is what we are looking at on DAX. We want to still price push a little higher. Then also, we want to see, once we get that particular one, we start looking for rejection signs. So you can also put your fib zone on this particular one and see where price might give you this particular turning point. And as we see that particular turning point, we are going to sell. So whether it's going to be an ABC or it is a 1, 2, 3 starting, it depends. Once we get a wave C or wave 3, I'm going to update you on it, how we use the fibs to know whether this is an extended one or is going to be an ABC. But the wave 2 can come as high as it can come as high as this particular fib zone, and it can also because we can see that this is also going to be a very interesting support level because of it being the previous wave 4. At the same time too, it's also coincided with this particular support level from this wave 3. So these are the interesting levels that we'll be looking at as price starts coming down. But as it stands now, you just wait. When price starts keep coming down, I'm going to update you on this. So that is what we are looking at on DAX. If you want to see more of these pairs, then you just have to join us in the legendary trade room. We do analyze a lot of these pairs. We do have updates. The charts, we give members access to charts updates every day, trading opportunities, and once you get into it, you have access also to the legendary trade room where you can have access to your app and everything, then get a notification, the charts and everything on it, as members discuss and trade the charts together. So that is what we've been looking at. That's what we've been looking at on this particular one. So just go to pairmarkets.com. That is being displayed on the screen. I'm also going to leave you a comment on how you can take advantage of the promo prices that we are having now. So if you take the lifetime or you take the annual, then you are going to get access to Wavematics Forex Accelerator, which is a premium course. It's going to dive deeper for you to understand. We've taken time to deal with all these things. I've taught it extensive hours, more hours on it. So you're also going to have access to the course, which is very important, because just watching the videos alone is making you always going to be dependent on others. But once you come in, we have unlocking secrets to the technical analysis. You can get in trends, divergence, Fibonacci clusters, the Trojan horse strategy. We do review assignments also of our members, because we have a particular segment for those who are doing the course to submit the assignment. So it's not just that is just the videos that you do submit your assignment. I do video review on the assignment that is being submitted. As you can see that Carolyn has submitted a lot of assignment. As they are watching, the members keep on submitting the assignments on it, and I take time to do video review on everything that they do watch. So if you can see, as Karen submitted his assignment, I look at it in the course of the week and make corrections to it where I needed to do videos and other things. You can see that, okay, Mohammed also submitted an assignment on it. So that is what is happening in the legendary trade room. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the legendary trade room as we trade together. So this particular week, may the market be with us, and trade carefully. Look at the fundamentals, look at the news. Don't trade whenever there is a news coming up when you are not trading the fundamentals. So if you are trading the technical analysis, go to Forex Factory, know what is happening on that, and trade responsibly. So may the market be with us now. My name is Peter Pell, and I'm out for now.